I don't know. Find it.
Hi.
How are you?
Great. How are you?
The normal. Fantastic.
Normal.
Living the dream.
Oh, your hair looks great.
Thank you. This
Love
is
it.
called me just put a hairbrush through it because I had to hurry up because I ordered my Walmart delivery and my Walmart delivery was supposed to be delivered between 7 and 8. They
Okay.
normally deliver around like 7:30. It just showed
Okay.
up at my doorstep.
Oh, did you guys have all the rain and stuff down there? Maybe that's what it is.
We did yesterday, but today the roads have been clear. Like I've been running all over the place today,
Hmm.
all over the place, and it's fine. But that's just my luck. The day that I actually like have something to
Have
do,
something to do. Yep.
they wait until the end of that hour, and they're
Yes.
not wrong. They're not wrong because it says between 7 and 8 o'clock. So I mean,
So, at 7:59, they're gonna arrive.
right, right. I'm trying to get my
That's
life
how it
together over here. Where
goes.
is everything at? My drive. Where's my questions? Okay, here we go. This you're my first interview in like 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The holidays proved to be busy for everyone. So there were a couple of them that were going to reschedule. But needless to say, I haven't done an interview in like 3 weeks.
Oh my
I don't know
gosh.
what to do with myself. I was like, wait a minute. I got to remember how to do this.
We
I
gotta
was
like
about
get
to,
you back in the groove.
right, right. I'm trying to pull up my questions and they're hiding from me. Like, what did I do with them?
That's
They are
all
right here.
right.
They're supposed to be right here. Okay. So, we're gonna do our shmivaways a little differently this year. So since Miss Rebecca is my first one this year, y'all get to figure out how we're gonna do it. So I want y'all watching these lives because I want y'all to hear about these books. So we're gonna start doing the giveaways in the lives, and I'm not gonna tell y'all what it is, but tonight there's not one but two because I got to meet the lovely Rebecca back in September at Sinful Signings. And so we have this is the novella, right? The prequel before the series.
Yeah, that like
Okay.
kicks off the series.
Yes. So we have this, but she was super sweet, y'all. And there's an envelope inside, and I've been holding on to this since September, so it's a little bent at the top. But she packed this sucker full of stuff. And then she has two pen names, so we got to support them both. So we have his holiday pact, which I freaking love this book. It
Yay!
is so much fun to read. I like. He he just needed a little help, and we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it, but we are
You
gonna
needed
give
some
away
help.
both of these books during the live tonight. So if y'all want to find out how, make sure y'all hang out with us so y'all can figure out how to win them because we're gonna have two winners. I'm gonna let somebody win a Rebecca book, and somebody's gonna have an Ayla book.
I love it.
So let's start at the beginning, ma'am. How did we
Okay.
get here? What made you wake up one morning and say, "I want to be an author"?
Well, thanks, Elizabeth, by the way. Hi, Catnip. I'm just looking at people coming in like, hi. Hi. What made me want to be an author? Well, I love to read, as we all do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I always had stories in my head and things like that because I love to read. I was a medical sales rep, so that's what I did a couple of things, and then I ended up becoming a medical sales rep. But I was working in corporate America and doing that for like, I did that for over a decade. And
Ooh.
as I was doing it, I just realized I did not want to work in corporate America, but I needed the money. So
Fair.
yeah. So I decided, so actually, I always wrote books and I always talked to people about how I was like one day I wanted to become an author. But I just wrote them for myself. I never thought I would actually publish them. Um, and I'll tell you the moment if you really want to know the moment, because there was an actual moment for me. And
Oh,
it was in 2016 when I had a meeting during a blizzard at Buffalo at the Buffalo Hospital there. And I had a meeting with the CEO the next morning and all the C-suite people. And I was in a hotel and it was a blizzard. And I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. And so I decided I was going to save up all my money. And so I did for the next 2 years. I just like saved up I didn't like go on any vacations or anything. I saved up all my money
oh
to
wow.
to like put some aside so that I could then become an author. And I left my job in 2018 and I became an author. Hey, Lauren.
I mean, I get it. Like, I don't want to go to work when there's a blizzard outside either. So
Right?
I get it. Now, you have two pen names. You have Rebecca Hefner. So tell us, if we go find Rebecca Hefner, what are we going to find in that, under that pen name?
Okay, so Rebecca Hefner is my steamy fantasy. It's like fantasy romance. It's kind of romantasy. It's basically my flagship series under Rebecca is Etherea's Earth, which is so it's a world I made up. It's sort of a parallel Earth, but it has vampires and demons and elves and just all sorts of things. And then they have the human world, but like the humans don't know that the vampires and everything exists.
Okay.
So yeah, so under Rebecca, you're going to find fantasy romance like that. But they also have like a sort of an urban fantasy twist. Like they're not. It's really weird. It's kind of like it's hard to. It's always hard to categorize. I feel like all authors say that. And then I also write steamy sci-fi under Rebecca Hefner. So I have a complete sci-fi time travel trilogy, which because I love time travel.
I have missed this somehow. I need to know what this is so I can get on my Kindle ASAP.
Yeah. So the first book is A Paradox of Fate. So hold on, let me grab that one. Hold on, because I have one right here. So
You stole my heart there. Like, who doesn't love a vampire?
right? I know. Okay, so the Dawn of Peace, I have some books here so I could show everybody. So the Dawn of Peace, which is the one that you showed earlier. This is the prequel. This kicks off my series. And then The End of Hatred is book 1. So after the Dawn of Peace, you go right into The End of Hatred, which is, so he's the vampire king and she is the Slayer princess. So
I love this cover. Like, it is absolutely gorgeous. I have a copy of this book, y'all. It is gorgeous. Like, you have the best covers for this paranormal
Thank
series.
you. My cover designers are amazing.
They're fantastic.
Yeah. And then this one is this first one in the sci-fi time travel.
Okay.
You can see this is the hub where she's trying to build the time machine.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and then I have a new release coming out. So this is book 1 in my new trilogy. I just got my author copies in today. So
Oh my goodness.
look how cool that is. So this is
I
a
love that.
sci-fi. I'm so excited about this new trilogy. So this is a sci-fi dystopian post-apocalyptic romance. And the heroine has amnesia. So you are thrust into the book in chapter 1 in her head and you don't know what's going on. So the reader, like you're her, so you don't know what is going on.
Oh,
Thank you,
I love
Elizabeth.
that.
Yeah, so it's really, I always wanted to write a book with an amnesiac heroine because I just felt like that would be so cool to like put the reader in her shoes. So you wake up with her. You don't know where you are, you don't know what has happened, and you learn along with her throughout the book as to what happens. But basically the world has been destroyed, and what she eventually finds out, this isn't too big of a spoiler because it's in the blurb, she eventually finds out that she's the one that destroyed the world.
No.
So now she wants to fix it. So yeah, so that's called Repressed X. So this is book 1. This is on pre-order now.
When does it release?
January 23rd.
Oh, that's coming soon, y'all.
Yeah,
Okay.
so not too long. And he's my sexy silver fox hero. His name is Maverick. And yes, they make fun of him for being named after someone in Top Gun, which is hilarious.
And I wrote down sexy silver fox, just so y'all know. It's in my notes.
For sure, he's definitely a sexy silver fox. And so I'm calling. So this, to me, this trilogy is a combination of 50 First Dates because she has amnesia and has to relive the same. Like to her, every day is like 50 First Dates, and then it's a combination of 50 First Dates and The Last of Us. It's a mashup of those two things.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so that's
That's exciting.
I know. Yeah, I've got good stuff there.
I can't wait. Like I got it on my list, and January is my free reading month. It's my month that I'm just like trying to catch up, and so I'm just gonna go ahead and add that to the list of things that need to be read in January. Now, you also write under the pen name Ayla Asher.
Yes.
So, what are we going to find when we go look up Ayla Asher?
Okay, so first of all, I saw that Lauren asked in the comments if I was going to put this on my TikTok shop, and
Oh,
I
I missed it.
am. So I want to answer her real quick if that's
Yes.
okay. So I on my TikTok shop right now, I have this trilogy and like all my other stuff on my TikTok shop. So since this is a new release, I'm gonna make it like a little book box out of it. So like I'm gonna have the new release, and then I have some little flowers that I bought from Broken Books at Simple
I
Signings,
love her.
and so I'm gonna put like the book flowers in the so if you buy a book box that has my new release, it'll have a flower made by Broken Books, like from the book pages, and then some other special stuff. I got some character art commissions, so those arrived today also. So it'll have a character art and the book and the flower from Broken Books. And I have 20 of those. So that'll be the first 20 boxes that I'll sell on the TikTok shop. So I'm gonna make those and I'm gonna put them out soon. I just have to like make a video so people know what's in it.
Look,
So
I just need to know when they go on sales and like what time, so I'm there and I can get my order in. Okay.
amazing. I will let
I
you
need to
know.
make sure.
I will let you know. So yes, so Lauren, it will be on there, and Shelly, it will be on there, and yeah, I just have to get my craft together and get it on there. So
And I'm gonna tell y'all, her character art is fantastic. I love it so much. I'm in the process of hanging all of the character art that I got from Sinful Signings because I got so much of it. I have like a thing in my room, and it's like the clothespins, and I'm like hanging it all up like you would pictures, except it's character art because it needs to be displayed. Okay.
yes, yes,
Like
it does. I mean, it's these artists do such a good job. Like I
they
can't draw
do.
a straight line, you know. So
Look,
they're
my lines look
fantastic,
like this. I don't
right?
draw. Okay, so Ayla Asher, what are we finding with Miss
Yes.
Ayla?
Okay, so his holiday packs, yeah, so that's the first book I ever wrote under Isla. And that's how I ended up
Ayla, I'm saying it
getting
wrong.
or Ayla, it doesn't matter. I mean, the only reason I say Isla is because my narrators say it that way, and I was like, oh, I guess that's how it's pronounced. I just thought it was such a pretty name. So when I decided to, so I started out writing fantasy romance because that's actually the primary genre that I read. It doesn't mean I don't read contemporary, but fantasy is probably like sort of edges that out. It's a little bit more of my favorite. So that's when I started writing. Hey, Krista. Oh my gosh. Hey, everybody. Thanks, Lauren. So I started writing fantasy. And then I was like, this idea came in my head that I wanted to write this contemporary Christmas romance with a fake relationship. And just didn't fit anywhere in like anything that I had written. So I was like, you know what? I'll just start a pen name. And then that way also like, if everyone hated it and didn't like it, and then I would say it was me. So I was like, no problem. So, so I wrote it and I put it out under Isla Asher, and I didn't tell anyone I didn't tell anyone. I just put it out. Like no one knew it was me. It wasn't on my social media or anything. And then I started getting reviews and people really liked it, like knock on wood. And I was like, oh my God, like people like this story. So then I got an idea for a second story, which is a Valentine's
I should have grabbed it. I
story.
have the whole series. It's on my shelf.
I love it. I'm like, Valentine's is coming up. So
Yes.
I
And
was like,
February is around the corner, so everyone should go pick that book up.
right. So I was like, yes, Elizabeth said fantasy romance has my heart. I know I love fantasy romance. So anyway, so I was like, let me write this one and see if people like this one. And because people liked the first one. And so I was like, I'll put out another book under Isla. And if they like that one, then I might actually start writing more under this pen name because whatever. So anyway, I put that one out and I had a good response. So I was like, well, crap. I mean, it's a great thing to happen. So then I was like, okay, I'm just going to write under both names, and now I'm going to claim it. I started telling everyone that it's me. Yeah. So that's how that happened.
You
So
know, I one thing that I loved about this book, and I'm going to point it out specifically, is that the female in this book is she's not like super super heavy set, but she doesn't have like the ideal body, and the struggles that she goes through, I think every woman will see themselves in.
yes,
Like
yes,
she because she has like she's been told like I don't want to give it away, but let's just say someone in her life is not very nice to her, and we don't like her. Okay, we
Yeah,
don't.
she's a big B.
But I love when I can find a character in a book that I can relate to, because I find that I end up enjoying the book more because you can see yourself in that character a little bit. And that to me, when I saw her going through that, I was like, I like this. Kayla is my girl. I like this.
Yeah,
So
she's a great
just
character, right? Oh, I'm
yes,
so
I
happy
love
that
her
you
so
liked
much.
her. Yeah,
I
I'm happy
love
that you
watching her
like.
evolve. It's always
Yeah,
fun.
yeah. I'm happy that you liked her and that you felt like, like that you connected with her because she is kind of like a every woman. And she's also
Yes.
brilliant as all of us are, and we don't give ourselves enough credit. So,
Right.
yeah. So, anyway, I'm
And she has
happy
a
to.
great group of friends that won't let her talk down about herself. And I was like, here
Yes,
for it. Because a
yes,
real friend is not going to let you sit there and talk crap about yourself. And her
exactly.
friends were like, no, ma'am. No,
Yeah,
you're awesome. Stop that.
exactly. They're like,
I loved
you're
it.
the catch.
Right?
Hello. So,
I love books like that. It makes, when I read characters like that, it just makes me want to continue to read everything that I can, because to me, those books end up being the best books that I read. And
oh,
it could be preference, but I like when I can connect to the characters like that. But
definitely.
you've got, okay, so across Rebecca and across Isla, there's a lot of characters. I don't know.
Yes.
There's a lot. I don't know how you keep them straight. But if you had to pick, what would be like your favorite character to write? I know I'm not supposed to ask this question, but it's too much fun not to.
Okay, so first of all, I have to say hi because Robin is here and
Oh,
Krista
hi,
is
Robin.
here. They are like two of my super amazing,
Yes.
awesome. I'm just saying hi to everybody. Elizabeth loves fantasy. I love her. I know Lauren is on here. She's amazing. Anyway, hi everyone. I just want to say hi to everybody. Okay, um, so obviously that's like the hardest question to ask an
Yeah.
author, right?
It's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah. So I mean, I think look, it's like deep in my heart, my favorite character will always be Miranda from the End of Hatred because she is literally the first character I ever wrote. Like that is the first book I ever wrote. Um, Miranda kind of grows in this book the way that I think I've grown as an author, the way that all women kind of grow in their lives. Like she, comes from a land kind of filled with misogyny and like she has obstacles against her and she has to really kind of struggle whatever to seize her power and to realize how powerful she is. So like she'll always just kind of be like she is just I don't know she's really great to write. She'll probably always be like my OG. But with that being said, probably my favorite like if I'm like in the like being honest and like in the back of my mind is probably Evie, who is like
Okay.
for people who have read my series, Evie is an anti-heroine. So we see so many morally gray anti-heroes, but she is a morally gray anti-heroine.
I like
And
it.
she was really fun to write because she does not give an F about anything. And she is like blunt. And she is the one who is, I don't know, she just, anyway, she's
Sounds
fun
like
to write.
another Evie that we happen to mutually know. But
Yeah.
her last name is Black. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I think
Kidding.
she's on here too. Yeah. Anyway, so as far as like just like the literal meaning of a fun character to write, she's so fun because literally anything I think in my head, I can make her say because she don't give a you
I
know.
love it. Now,
So,
do you think that now it could be Miranda and Evie both? Do you think you would get along with these characters? Like
oh
if they
yeah.
were real?
Yeah. I
Okay.
think I think Miranda and I would like open a bunch of businesses together and then like she'd maybe like run for president and I'd be her campaign manager.
Okay. Okay. I
um
like this idea.
and then Evie, oh yeah, I think she would just be fun to like yeah. She's just gonna keep you on your toes.
Let's talk about trigger warnings. When people read your books on either side of the author name, are they going to find trigger warnings, and where are they going to be located?
Yes. So my well, I call them content warnings, but trigger warnings, whatever. On my
Content.
website it says content warnings, I think is what it says.
I think we're moving towards more content now instead of calling it a trigger warning. So that's probably more grammatically correct.
Yeah, I had my my web designer build out like like a trigger warning, content warning section. So if you go, so RebeccaHefner.com is like my main, like, that's where you can find them. That's my informational site, where you can find all my books. So if you go to RebeccaHefner.com/books, all my books are listed there. And at the very bottom, you'll see content warnings. You just click on that and it has them for every book. And so content warnings for my Rebecca Hefner books are like, Aetheria's Earth is thrust into war. So it's a lot of like, my content warnings are like war, death. There are some like mentions of SA, but like off the page that happened in the past, but they're just important to the development of where the character is now to know that happened in the past to them. But there's nothing like detailed or anything. It's just like, just to build the context for some of the characters. But yeah, so all of the content warnings are on RebeccaHefner.com.
Perfect.
For Isla, I actually just put them in the blurbs of each book because I didn't like build out a spot on the Isla Asher website. So like if you literally go to Amazon, it just says like at the bottom of the blurb of each blurb, like please don't like for his holiday pact because his mom has cancer. So I say the main character's mother has late stage cancer. So please know that before you read this book. That's like literally in the blurb. So for my Isla books, anything that I think might be, triggering for someone, I just put in the blurbs.
Okay. I like people to know where to find them, just in case. Now, I added this question, and then there was a whole controversy on TikTok. It has nothing to do with that, for the record. I added this question simply because people always, I get a lot of questions about it, so it's best if y'all answer it. When you are looking for ARC readers, tell me what you're looking for from the reader.
Okay, so I'm happy to have anyone ARC read for me, but I guess I have a very like super cool, pretty small ARC team. I've never like made it super, super big for a couple of reasons. So number one, like I do write slow burn books. So if you're looking for just like they're steamy for sure, but there is going to be like my books are very character development based. So I don't have a ton of like flowy description and stuff. I do obviously describe my worlds, but you're really going to be more in the mind of the character. I'm a very character based author, whereas like some authors really go into detail about like the leaves of the trees had and I'm like, no, like I want to be in the head of the character. And either way is fine. Either way is totally fine. That's just how I write. Wait, what was I going to say? Where was I going with that? ARC readers. Okay, so I'm always trying to look for ARC readers who really want to get invested in a story that it's going to take them a minute to really get into it and to really, by the end, they're going to be like, holy crap, I can't wait to read the next one, which is usually what happens. But getting people into it, they're going to have to be a little patient. So because of that, I'm kind of careful who I ask to ARC read sometimes. Not saying that I do have an ARC form in my bio, and I'm always happy to have people ARC read for me. I do have my books up on Booksprout and Book Sirens and stuff and places like that. So I am happy to have anyone ARC read. The other thing is that I'm a wide author. I'm not in KU, which is very different from most authors on TikTok. And I don't have any problem with the subscription program, but I do have a problem giving exclusivity to Amazon, and I won't do it. So a lot of people only leave reviews on Amazon, and that's not going to work for me because I need people who will leave reviews on Barnes and Noble and Kobo and Apple and all the other places. So so those questions are in my ARC form. So when people fill out my ARC form, I'm very clear, like, of course I want you to leave a review on Amazon because my books are still there. They're just not in KU. But if you're not willing to even consider, or if you're not able to leave a review, at least on one other platform like Barnes and Noble or Kobo or Apple or Google Play, then we're probably not a fit because I don't get the majority of my business on Amazon. I get it from my direct store actually, and from other places because I sell direct. So as long as people are willing to review other places besides Amazon, and they're open to knowing that like my books are like character driven instead of like it's my books are going to suck you in, but you need to be like, it's not something you could just like scroll through and be like, oh, I got an arc, let me get it done in an hour. It's my books are not like that. They're gonna require a little bit of effort.
Effort is not always a bad thing. Just saying. Sometimes you need that little bit of work to get there. It makes it worth it in the end,
Yeah.
okay?
I think it makes it pay off more. Like if you, I want readers who want to be invested in the book, right? Because
Yes.
like then you have, I just feel like then you have such. When I read a book and I'm invested, oh my God, when I'm finished, I feel so good. Like that's why we read, right? You know?
See, I'm the complete opposite. If I'm invested and I finish it, I'm like, well, what do I do with my life now?
That's funny.
Like my whole world just ended and nobody around me gets it.
Yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, but like, Robin made a comment here, and she's right. So, oh, simple sightings is here, yay! Slow word, hi, simple sightings. So yeah, Isla's book needs to have the tissues ready. That's true. So yeah, so as Robin pointed out, my books are on Scribd also. So I have
Oh,
all of my ebooks and audiobooks are on Scribd, and they're in Kobo Plus. So you can go right now to Kobo and read all of my books or listen to all my audiobooks for free because they give you a 1 month free trial.
oh.
Yeah, Kobo is awesome.
I'm gonna have to go over there at some point. I keep meaning to, and I remember it and then I forget about it.
Yeah.
That's how my brain works.
No, I totally get
Um,
it.
but yeah, I've heard that Kobo is a really really fun one to. I'm gonna need to look into that. I need to look into that.
They have a
That's
subscription program just like Hey You. The only difference is that they don't require exclusivity. So that's why it works for me because I refuse to give exclusivity to Amazon. So,
I get it.
um, yeah.
I get it. Like it's a lot easier to put yourself out there and find more readers if you're not exclusive to the Zon.
Yeah, I mean, being a KU works well for so many authors, and like I get
Mhm.
it. I'd honestly probably make more money if I was a KU, but it's just I worked in corporate America for so long, and like I just cannot. I just like when I left corporate America, I was like, and I just cannot. Like Amazon, they'll shut down your account.
Mhm.
They're so I just can't put all my eggs in one basket like that and like pledge my loyalty to one corporation anymore. I did that for so long and I just don't want to do it anymore.
Understandable. Now let's talk about the spice. Okay.
Okay.
Um, when you're writing these scenes, do you have to research? Like, is there any
Sure.
research that goes into this?
Oh yeah, sure. Well, when I wrote my time travel trilogy, that was the hardest thing I've ever written. Like that was I kind of girl bossed a little too close to the sun on that one because I mean, so I'm a big physics dork. I love physics. I went to governor school for physics when I was in high school. So like, and I was one credit away from being a physics minor in college. So
Wow.
like, I'm a super physics dork. I love it so much.
That's
So
awesome.
so that's why I wanted to write a time travel trilogy, romance trilogy. Um, so for that required a lot of research because I had to make the time travel aspect believable, and it's
Hmm.
based on real principles that exist today. So, and then the other research that you do is more just like for me, I do a lot of location research for like where I want wherever the books are being. So like my new series that's coming out, yeah, a lot of it takes place in like Maryland and Pennsylvania and DC, like that area, which I
Hmm.
don't live in. So I have to do a lot of research of like how far is this place and how far is and like where is this and
Okay.
yeah. So I do a lot of location research. Yeah, there's always stuff to research. Yeah, for sure.
All right. Now do you consider yourself a plotter or a pantser?
Um, I'm probably both.
Plant
I'm a, is there a word that's both of them?
plantser.
A planster. Yeah. I like to do an outline and so for Rebecca books, I do an outline always.
Okay.
Um, and so I guess you would consider that plotting. It's like an outline of what I want to happen in the book and what I see happening. For my Isla books, I do a little differently. I do those the plotting or the outlining based on the tropes that I want the book to be about.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so when I started my Arter Creek series, the first book in that series, that's under Isla Asher. That's my small town romance series. I have 6 books in that series. It's a complete series. Um, I just knew that I wanted to start the book. I knew I wanted it to have a widower because I'm in love with that movie, The Holiday, where Cameron Diaz meets the widower,
Yes.
right?
Yes. I love that movie.
Right. So I knew I wanted it to have a widower, and I knew I wanted it to be Grumpy Sunshine. That's literally how I started that whole series. I was like, I'm going to start with these 2 concepts of like a grumpy hero and a sunshine heroine and a widower. And then let me see how I can build a book around this. And so that's how I do Eyelash. And I knew like for his holiday pact, I knew I wanted to do a fake relationship.
Okay.
So yeah.
I like that though. It's different, but it works for you. Like that's interesting that 2 different pen names, 2 different things work.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that. So obviously, you write a lot of different things, but is there anything that as an author you just don't ever see yourself writing? Like some people have said fantasy, some people have said that they just a trope that they're just like, not for me.
No, I honestly no. I will write anything. And so Rebecca is actually my middle name. And I think that's pretty like common. I think most people know that. I actually have written a nonfiction book that I wrote under my legal name. So I've written nonfiction. It's about solo travel because I loved solo traveling. So it's just like a guide on how I learned to solo travel and how anyone can learn to do it. So I've written nonfiction. When I was 12, I used to write poetry, and I had one of my poems was chosen to like I submitted it in the newspaper because I'm old. There was a contest of like submit your poem and then you can like be in our anthology. And I was like, Mom, I'm gonna submit my poem to this. And she was like, whatever, you're 12, fine, go for it. And then it got selected. so like, yeah, I don't really write poetry anymore, but like, I've written everything. So I don't think so. I would try anything. And I also love to read everything. I love to read thrillers and sci-fi and fantasy and obviously romance. I love nonfiction. I love stuff about science. Like I've read all of Carl Sagan's books and Neil deGrasse Tyson and Mikio Keiko. Like I love these. I'm like the biggest dork in the whole world. So I don't think so. I would try anything.
I would be interested to read like a horror book from you. I would like to see your spin on
Ooh,
that.
ooh, yeah. That's actually not one of my ones that I'm like super into, but like if it had the thriller aspect, yeah, I could, yeah, could give it a try. Uh-oh.
My mother.
Oh,
Call Pop Pop and tell her that I'm busy.
I love it.
My mom just called and I was like, oh, she's gonna wonder why I'm just like ignoring her.
Ah, hopefully everything's okay.
Only one. Okay. Let's see. What is the hardest part that you think about being indie published?
Robin said, life doesn't stop. Yep, that's right.
Right. She never like it's probably because I called her earlier, so she's calling me back because it's almost her bedtime.
She's like, I'm gonna go to bed soon.
That's what it is, I guarantee you. Because if it was super important, she would have already called back.
Right. I love it. Okay, the hardest thing about being an indie author, for me, it's time. I just don't have enough time to do everything. I'm at the point where I'm starting to hire PAs to do some things, but like even then, I have to train them how to do it. So that takes more time. And
Yeah.
by the time I train them, then it's like, oh, I'm not going to be PAing anymore. But and I'm like, oh my god, I'm just so tired. So I think for me, time is the hardest thing because I do too much and I run out of time every day.
Look, I see you on my feed all the time. Like you show up on my Facebook, you show up on my TikTok, like the little ads and stuff. Like I'm constantly seeing you. So like you're literally in our faces. I love it. 'Cause I'm like, hey, I'm gonna talk to her. Hey, I met her. I get so excited when I
I
see your
love
face.
it. I know it's nonstop. I mean, I haven't I just want to take a vacation. I'm so tired, but like
You
I
need to go
can't because
one.
I went home for 3 days for Christmas and I came home and I still have not caught up. Like today, I was just messaging an author friend, Christine C.D. Gorey. If you guys know her, she's so
Mhm.
awesome. But I just was messaging her before this live, and she was like, "Oh my God, like she lives in New Jersey," and I'm like, we were talking about meeting up for lunch. Bless you. And I'm like, I think I can finally meet up for lunch with you on January 26th. And she was like, what the hell are you doing over there? And I was like, that's literally, I'm so behind from taking 3 days off for Christmas.
Wow.
It's just, man, I just like, yeah. But I mean, I'm not complaining because I like working for myself. It's not, that's obviously better than anything in the world. But it's a lot.
I can imagine. What would you tell your younger writing self? Like if you could go back and give yourself some advice after everything that you've done now, like what do you wish you would have known?
That's a great question. Oh, so first of all, April is here. Hey, April.
Yes.
And Robin is just saying all these lovely things because I love her. Oh my gosh. April, what's up? What could I go back and tell my younger writing self? Nothing matters. I used to care so much about like a 1 star review or like um, whatever. I used to care about so many things that I can't tell you the last time I've looked at my reviews. I don't have time. So, how I would just tell that person like none of this is gonna like once your career really gets in full swing, none of this is gonna matter. Please stop worrying about it. Like it's not worth the anxiety because the things I used to worry about in year one, I wish I had time to worry about now. That's what I'll say.
That yeah. April says I run from reviews. April, you don't have that many bad reviews, if any. Like I not that I've seen. Um, Now this question someone put in the comments and I not in these comments. It was in a different live, but I wrote it down because I think it's an excellent question. And this one's really going to make you think a little bit. What do you want to be remembered for in the author world?
Oh. Um, well, first of all, Brian, you're welcome. It's so nice to see you on here. And thank you, April. That's very nice of you about my hair. Okay, so what I want to be remembered for is so what a lot of people like, I think a lot of people know this or they might not know this, but one of my side projects, this is why I'm so busy, is that I help authors with wide audiobooks. So like my whole mantra is like, instead of just producing on Audible, which is fine if you do that, there's no like judgment or whatever. Like some authors really can only produce on Audible because they have the way the royalty share is.
Hmm.
But I have found a lot of success with being wide in audio. And all that really means is that you're not exclusive to Audible. You can put your audiobooks everywhere. And when I first became an author and I knew I wanted to make all my books in audiobooks and I knew I wanted to be wide, there were zero resources. So I had to teach myself how to do everything. Once I taught myself how to do everything, then I realized I had this wealth of knowledge that I could then save other authors from having to go through this intense level of research and failing and succeeding and failing and succeeding that I went through, that I could just like help them learn how to do this. So I could really shorten all of their learning curves. So they wouldn't have to go through what I had to go through. So now that I have this wealth of knowledge, I admin a group on Facebook called Marketing Audiobooks Wide for over 2,000 authors and narrators. I run promos to help authors get their books in front of their wide audiobooks in front of as many people as possible. And I'm the one who runs the Stuff Your Earbuds Day. Like I created that, I do
Oh,
all that. Yeah. So
I didn't know that.
yes. So my goal is to help authors learn how to do this. And there's so much information and it's very overwhelming. So my goal is to like help authors not be so overwhelmed, impart the knowledge that I learned through like blood, sweat, and tears so that it makes their lives a little bit easier and to help them find success. Because if they find success, then we all find success, right? So I think that's what I want to be remembered for, is like someone who can be a valuable resource, or who was a valuable resource to other authors, and like really helps them, find success, especially in the audiobook world. Although I help people with other stuff too. Like I help people if they want to go wide, or if they have questions or anything. I just like being a resource, because when I first became an author, I just didn't have anyone to reach out to, and I didn't know what I was doing, and I made a lot of mistakes. And so if I can help other authors and save them that trouble and shorten their learning curve, that is something that is very rewarding to me, because we're all in this together, right?
Absolutely.
So yeah, I guess that's it.
I think that has to be one of the best answers. And I know it's for a lot of people, you see somebody on a screen and they say all the pretty words or whatever, but I've had the pleasure of meeting this woman in person, and she's literally like one of the most genuinest, kindest humans you're ever going to have the pleasure to come across. So I genuinely believe that there are so many authors that you have helped, and April's in the comments talking about how you're a mentor to her, and I love it. Like,
So sweet.
I love seeing that, because we see a lot of the negative things on this app. They like to throw those in our face. So that makes me happy, and I literally think that's the best answer ever.
Oh, well, awesome. And by the way, you are amazing too. It was so nice to meet you. We had so much fun.
I did.
Yeah, that was super fun. Oh my gosh, that was a great signing.
I got to sit next to Rebecca Hefner at dinner. That's always gonna be like
It was
a
great.
highlight for me. Like, it was great. There were other people there. But I got to sit next to her. Okay,
Dude, we had such a good time, right? Yeah, it was fun.
we did. It was a blast. So speaking of that was Sinful Signings this past year. It is January, and that means that all the signings are restarting. So do you have any confirmed events that you're going to be at this year if they want to meet you?
Yes. Okay. So I will say, so I'm starting to get a lot of, so I think everyone knows that I have done a lot of signings in the past, because when I was building up my career, I really wanted to get out there and meet people. And I love like meeting people in person. That's like, that's my jam. I'm so much better in person. Like that's because I did sales for years in corporate America. Right. But with that being said, I made a conscious decision to pull back from signings this year, because I have got to write some more books, right? So let me just plug my new release again. I got the author copies in today.
Right, please do.
For Press Echoes. This is one of the books I wrote as I'm like pulling back from signings. So this year, I am only doing a couple of signings. I'm doing Tempted and Tantalizing in North Carolina. And that is for the dual reason of the fact that I've always done Tempted and Tantalizing in Staten Island, and they're moving it to North Carolina this year. So I
saw that.
Yeah. So I live in the New York City area. So it was always easy for me to do the one in Staten Island. But when they moved it to North Carolina, that's where I'm from, and my family is there. So I was like, okay, I'll follow it, because my family.
Why not?
Yeah, I'll get to see them. So that one I'm doing. That was in March. I think it's March 9th. Tempted and Tantalizing. It's in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Raleigh's only like an hour and a half away from me, maybe 2.
Oh my God, you should come. Oh my God, it's gonna be so fun.
I'm just throwing that out there.
My girl Christine Gorey is coming. Obviously, that's my girl. Love her so much. She and April are like my two like favorite author besties in the whole world.
We love April.
So Christine and I will be there. So that's in Raleigh on March 9th. And then I have a couple. So I have a really cool like group of like local authors. Christine is one of them. Victoria Jane. She lives in New Jersey. Who am I forgetting? I'm forgetting someone. Anyway, we do a couple of local signings that we put on ourselves, like one at a brewery and one at a winery. Because
I'm here for it. We're
luscious. So
there's nothing wrong with that. I should have done my signing at a winery. Why did I think about that?
Oh my God, yes. So this is something, by the way. So I haven't So listen, I know you're doing a signing, by the way, which is going to be amazing. One day I'm going to do a sign. I'm going to do a signing at a winery in upstate New York. That's on my bucket list of like things I'm going to plan. But I have to write more books first. But by the way, I love to plan stuff. I'm a crazy person like that. So I am going to do a signing one day, but like not yet. But it will be at a winery. It will be at a winery and it will have a karaoke night because
Ooh.
those are my two favorite things in the world, wine and karaoke.
But they have to partake to enter the karaoke
Yeah.
because it's always so much more fun that way.
Hmm.
No, okay, we can't force people to,
I
but
mean, it's either way is fine. We'll have fun no matter what. We'll have fun no matter
yes.
what.
Look,
But
when you
anyway,
make that happen, I'm coming.
it's yeah. I'm shooting for 25 or 26. We'll see.
Okay.
But anyways, the point is that I'm not doing a ton of signings. I'm doing Tempted and Tantalizing. I'm doing the local ones, and I think that's it for this year. And then I signed up for one in Asheville, North Carolina, in 25 because that's literally where I'm from. Like that's where I grew up. Was a town called Black Mountain, which is right outside of Asheville.
I know
My
exactly where
mom's
Black Mountain is.
yeah. So my mom lives there, so I'm going to do that one so I can see her. It's like combine everything.
What is the one
um,
in Asheville?
so okay, so it's not even. I don't even think they've announced it yet, but I saw the sign up form and I was like, oh, I'm doing that one. It's called. I think it's called like Chaos in the Carolinas or something. Is that?
C.L. Ledford mentioned that.
Yeah. I think that's right. I don't know. I remember filling out the form and I don't remember all the details. So I'm not the right.
Yeah, C.L. Ledford came across that one. I remember her mentioned it. Speaking of C.L. Ledford, she just sent me a message. I was like, does she know I'm talking about her?
I love
That was random.
it. Oh, but
Okay.
yes. Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say. So, Robin in the comments, she said, "Yes, come to me," and like that's what I'm saying, Robin. It's gonna be whenever I plan this signing, whenever I get around to it, it's gonna be at an upstate New York winery. I'm coming to your backyard.
I am in South Carolina, but I will go to upstate New York to a winery if you're
Right?
hosting, okay? Like count me in. I want to be there. That's going to be a
I,
lot of fun.
I
So
love it.
let's
Are
talk a
you
little bit about
when
you.
when is your signing? Because I keep seeing
Mine,
it. I can't do any more this year. Maybe, but although I might have FOMO and I might message you and be like, "Do you have a table?"
mine is November the 16th. It is booked in
Okay.
chaos.
Okay.
And it's here in Greenville, South Carolina. Mine is only a 1 day event. I wanted it small and local. So mine is only a 1 day event. So I
Okay.
understand that there are a lot of authors that can't travel because they don't live in, it's not feasible for
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Um, Depending on how things work this year, okay, we might change that up a little bit next year if we decide to have a next year, which it sounds like it's going to happen next year. But yes, but yes, it's booked in chaos, and all the information, if y'all want to, if you're in the southeastern area and or if you just want to come because it's going to be a lot of fun,
Oh
you
my
can
God,
go
it's
to
gonna
the
be
link in
amazing.
my
I'm
bio.
sure. Yeah.
Jeanette's helping me because she lives not far from me, and so she was like, it'll happen next year.
Nice. Oh, I'm so excited for you. It's going to be amazing.
There were a lot of things. I had time on a Tuesday, Kim Ringer. I'm that's their thing. They had time on a Tuesday. Well, I had time on a Tuesday, and it was just an idea, and then a week later it's happening. And I was like, "Oh, we're doing this." Okay.
Hey, that's how the best things happen. So that's great.
I'm very lucky that I've had such amazing friends to reach out to that have given support, like the Hype Girls. They've already been through this because they're doing TGAT up in Canada that's happening next month, and y'all can go to thegrandauthortakeover.com if you're in Canada or if you want to travel to Canada to check that one out. Sinful Signings, Desi and Autumn, they've been super helpful. Joanna from Bray.
Awesome.
I'm an
Yeah.
influencer there in May, and she has like, they've all been so incredible because they don't like, it's not, they don't want to gatekeep the information, I guess is the best way to put that.
That's the best way to be. That's like
Like,
I was saying before. Like, let's all help each other out. Life is so hard anyway. Like, everybody help each other out.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about you. You said you're from North Carolina, but we live in New York. What do you do when you're not writing or thinking about books? Is there a is that does that ever happen?
I know, right? This is why I'm so tired because I literally work all the time.
I feel that.
Being an indie author is not for the faint of being like a full-time indie author like I am is not for the faint of heart. I always tell people like it's so great. By the way, it's not I really do love it. I love it so much, but it's not for the faint of heart. So when I'm not working, which is about 4 hours a week, I'm sleeping. No,
Fair.
no. I have a great. So I'm a solo sojourner on this earth. I'm solo. I don't have any kids, and that's how I like it. It just works for me. Everyone is different.
If
Um,
you want some, I've got two you can borrow. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
right? Yes, yes. I do like love visiting. My brother has two daughters. I love visiting them. So like that's why I'm excited to go to North Carolina for
Okay.
they live in the Raleigh area. So um anyway, I have a great group of friends. And we're all, you know, it's kind of similar to like the girlfriends in his holiday pact. Like we're all like successful businesswomen. And then, some of them have husbands some, and then we have like, we have some gay people who like they have their partners and like we all just hang out in this big friend group kind of. And like, so last Saturday we had a wine and cheese party because my friends moved into a new condo and they wanted to
Oh,
have everyone over. So we had a Saturday night wine and cheese party. And then Sunday morning I was hungover. So, so that's usually what I do. So yeah, I'm usually like, yeah, if I am having fun, I'm usually out like with my friends, probably doing karaoke because that's like my favorite thing to do in the whole world. Um, and or else watching college basketball, which is my second favorite thing to do in the whole world. I love basketball and
okay.
I went to UNC, so like I'm a huge basketball. So like we're starting to get into like this is like the thick of the basketball season now. So we're starting to like, yeah, so I'm starting to get juiced by the games. So that's it. Yeah, I'm out at a bar watching a basketball game or doing karaoke. And if I'm not doing those, that's like on the when I'm having fun, which is not as much as I used to.
You know, I really want to like basketball, and I've never been able to get into the sport. It's like golf to me.
Yeah. I feel like, oh my God, Kate L. Morrison is here. What's up,
Love her.
girl? Spreading joy through books and bookish, Robin said. Yes, that's exactly right. Okay, well, so I mean, I played basketball. Like I'm tall. I was a 3-point shooter. Like I was like I was always like the person that they gave the ball to at the buzzer to hit the 3-point shot. It was pretty cool. I always got into it because I played. And then when I went to college, I wasn't good enough to play at Chapel Hill, but I was the first female intramural referee to
Oh,
officiate a intramural championship game ever at the University of North Carolina, which was kind of cool because
okay.
I was a referee for the intramural program, which doesn't sound like a big deal, but like at Chapel Hill, like the intramural program is like a big deal because it's like all the
Mhm.
people who didn't quite make the varsity team and they were like really good. so, so that's how I got into it because I just like grew up in North Carolina and we were raised on Carolina basketball. It is like in my blood. Like if you tell me you like Duke, I like probably won't ever talk to you again in your life. Like like I'm psycho. I'm like one of those psycho fans. So I think it maybe is something that it was ingrained in me. And if it's not ingrained in you like that, I'm not sure it's something that I can see why it's, you didn't gravitate toward it, you
Mhm.
know?
See, we were a football town. Like you start watching football at the high school level because our high school is one of the top high school football teams in the state. They go to championships in Columbia every year. Oh
Oh,
my
that's
goodness.
great.
Like anyone around here knows our football. So you watch that, and then on Saturdays you watched college football, and then on Sundays you watched the NFL. And if you didn't, then on Monday nobody was talking to you because they're talking about football.
Right, right. No, that totally makes sense. And by the way, I love football too, like because I
Oh
grew up
yeah,
on a
no.
mountain and like football is awesome. So like I
Yes.
get that because girl, that whole like football mentality in the South, I get that too, believe me. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Elizabeth said,
Oh,
"Go Tar Heels."
thank you, Elizabeth. Yes.
Look,
Tar heels, tar heels. Anyone? Okay. I'm like, so. And then wait, KL Morrison said, Rebecca, where's our basketball romance series? Stay tuned.
oh, okay,
I'll get to that one day.
okay. I would read about it. I would read it.
I mean, hot basketball players, right? I mean, who
Look,
everyone would read that, right?
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. It was so funny today because I didn't even realize it. My son is a Clemson fan. I don't know where I went wrong with him. Okay, I
Oh,
don't. I don't because
that's
I'm an
a
Alabama fan.
basketball school, by the way. We had like basketball camp at Clemson.
Well, see, I'm an Alabama fan. Okay, I grew
Oh,
up a Paul Bear Bryant fan, and Nick Saban, our soon-to-be former head coach.
I just heard that today. Oh my God. Talk about it. What a record that guy has
Oh,
though. Oh my gosh.
fantastic. But like I didn't realize it, but we went and had dinner tonight. My son's wearing his Clemson hoodie. I'm wearing my Alabama hoodie. And the guy at the desk looks at me and he goes, are y'all a divided household? And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, Alabama, Clemson. I was like, oh, yeah, we are. And then my daughter's just like, I don't care.
Oh,
Just goes on about her life.
over it.
Because the guy was like, well, little girl, or what? He said, little Prince says, what team do you like? She's like, I don't care. I'm not watching football.
All
She
right.
will watch hockey though.
Ah,
I don't know because I can't explain it, but she'll sit there and watch the puck and everything. Just it's great.
interesting. Well, we got it. Well, she's got a whole romance genre she can read for sure.
When she's old enough,
Right, right, right,
I'm
right.
already gonna
Wait,
have
how
my
old
list
is she?
for
How
it.
old is she?
She'll be 10 on Valentine's
Oh, yeah,
Day.
she's not quite there yet. Okay, on Valentine's Day. Oh, so sweet.
I live in Georgia, so now I'm also a Georgia fan. I'm sorry.
Uh,
You know what? I can't say
she
anything.
loves the
Georgia's in
Tar
the
Heels.
SEC, so I mean, I really can't hate.
Love it.
Yeah, April's in Georgia too. Okay, so that answers that question. Did you watch or play sports? Obviously, you played basketball and you watch basketball.
And I played
Um,
tennis also. I was very good at tennis. I got recruited to
oh,
two like tiny schools that offered me scholarships, but I was like, no, I'm going to Carolina, but thank you. Where I
I'm going to
wasn't good enough to
Carolina.
play there.
What is your favorite food?
Ooh. Okay, so probably sushi. Like I mean, I love pizza, but I don't eat it a lot anymore because my doctor was like, your diet is too unhealthy and you have to stop eating pizza all the time. Which, by the way, like decreased the happiness level in my life by like 100 points. But anyway, I had to find it in other places. So no, I love sushi. That is like literally like we have so many good sushi places. So when I left corporate America and I decided to become an author. I took a year and traveled around the world, and I lived in a bunch of different places. I lived in Japan for a month. I lived in Bali for almost a month. I went to Alaska for 3 weeks. Anyway, and I did all this by myself. That's why I wrote a book on traveling solo. But anyway, when I was in Japan, I literally had the best sushi I've ever had in my entire life, and I was like,
Oh,
I
I can
could eat almost
imagine.
every day. I could eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So I guess it's sushi.
Look, I have a friend that I graduated high school with, and he's an English second language teacher over there. And I tell him all the time that I live vicariously through him because he's done like holiday in Bali, and like he'll go to like the restaurants and he shows the sushi that is like over there. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm jealous, okay? It is not the
Amazing.
same.
It's amazing. Yeah, it's just so fresh. It's so fresh, and it's like I'm one of those like sushi snobs, which is so I know it's so annoying, but like I'm that person who's like, oh no, I'm not eating that. Like if you're like if people who are like, I'm gonna order sushi, I'm gonna get the sushi at the gas station. I'm like, no,
I'm
don't
good,
do it.
thanks. I'm good.
I mean, no one who does that.
Look, we have Publix, and Publix has sushi, and I'm scared to eat it.
Yeah, I know, like right. So we have Acme up here, and they have sushi, and I'm like, it's probably fine. It's probably totally fine, but I I don't know. That's a decision we all have to make. That's like a game time decision.
You get to host a dinner party for three famous people, and it's famous according to you. So I don't have to think they're famous. What three people, and they can be unalive or alive, would you
Okay.
invite to this dinner party?
Okay, well, definitely Dolly Parton because she's like
The
amazing.
yes,
Yes. So I love Dolly Parton for so many reasons. Obviously, she just has such a big heart. She obviously has a great voice, and since I love to
mhm,
sing and I love karaoke, she's a brilliant songwriter and a brilliant businesswoman. And
yes,
she's also child free by choice, which I am also. So I think I love women who are like in their choice of like it's not my role in this life to be a mother, and it's great if it is works for everyone else, but that like people like women like that have been pushed aside for so long, and we've just been told that we don't hold value because we choose to not have children. And so that's like a big thing. I wrote a book about a child. A lot of my heroines are child free by choice, and like I just think that's important to have representation out there for women like that,
absolutely.
to show that you're valid too, and if you're a mother, you're valid, and we're all valid in whatever choices we make. And it shouldn't be something that we're ashamed of or that we feel like we have to hide. So anyway, that's I love her for so many reasons. So her, um, oh my gosh, uh, probably Taylor Swift, just because I would like want to pick her business brain of like, her music's fine, but like I just think she is such a brilliant businesswoman. I mean, the
She
woman, like,
is.
right? Like she literally revitalized our economy last year, and like her tour produced billions of dollars. I mean, she
Hmm.
solely like I think they said she solely like raised our GDP by like 0.5% just from her show, which is like that's nuts.
That's crazy.
So maybe
Go Taylor
her,
Swift.
just want to pick her brain. Um, Gosh, oh, Carl Sagan, because I love Carl Sagan. So he's like a famous like physicist, and he's the one who did like the very first Cosmos, and the way he communicated science to people and the way he explained, like he's the one who came up with the phrase the pale blue dot, so that the Earth is just the pale blue dot as you see it from where the other planets in the solar system, and like sort of he was so good at communicating that like the human experience is like so it means so much, but it also means nothing at all, and like how can it be both, but it can be. And anyway, I've read all of his books. I just think he's amazing. I mean, he's
I'm,
passed
I'm
away.
gonna have to go look him up. I would be interested in reading that.
Oh my God, yeah. Definitely look up Carl Sagan. Definitely read Cosmos. It's on audiobook too. But or you could just go watch some of his YouTube. Like he passed away from cancer maybe like a decade or two ago, but like he was just such a great he was so good at explaining these wonderful huge things that explained all these phenomena in the galaxy and made you feel small and big at the same time. He's such a good communicator.
I love that. Okay, now this is the most important question that I ask here on Chaos and Book Talk. Okay.
Okay.
And I was going to change it up this year because everybody knows it's coming and I was going to change it, but I just didn't have the heart to change it because I need to know what all the new answers are going to be. Okay.
Okay.
So here's the question. What would you do if you came home and you found a penguin in your freezer?
Is it alive or dead?
It's alive.
Okay. I don't know. I'm like, that's the first thing I need to know.
It's a little tiny penguin. He's in your freezer.
A tiny penguin. So he's a baby penguin.
He could be. I don't know much about. I need to do some research on penguins. Apparently,
Listen, this is my brain. I should have been a detective. I'm always like, let me ask more questions. Let me ask more questions. Like before I answer, I'm gonna ask more questions.
well, it's alive, and
um,
I don't know how big your freezer is. So if it's big
okay.
enough for an adult penguin, then
Okay.
there's totally adult penguin in there. But if not, then it's a little baby penguin.
Um, what's the first thing I would do? I would try and figure out how to make it comfortable, and then I would figure out where it came from.
Are you keeping it?
Oh, probably not.
She
I'm
said it.
probably gonna like call the zoo and see and like or call animal control and be like, someone put this penguin here. But the question is who?
It just randomly showed up. We don't know how it got there. It's just there.
It's just there. Yeah,
I
I'd
don't have the
probably call the
backstory.
zoo.
Look, I need to like write this down and like I need to give this whole question like a backstory. So there's more information here, but I haven't done that. But this has literally become my favorite question just because
That's
the
a great
answers
question because
the
it's
answers are
random. It's great.
priceless. Okay, so we have got two books that we're going to rehome. Okay, so I'm going to pick two winners so that we can have two people get a book. Our first one is going to be His Holiday Pact. This is a holiday romance. Y'all, I love this book. I could not get enough of Kayla. Like this is a character that spoke to me, and I'm so excited I get to share this. So, let's see. I should have done this like Tara did, and I might have to start doing that. Okay, so for this one, if you're in the comments and you want to win this book, since you came and hung out with us, Rebecca, I want you to think of a candy, like just okay, not anything crazy. I don't know,
Okay.
like my brain went straight to a whatchamacallit, and I don't know if y'all know what a whatchamacallit is. I don't even know if kids still eat those today.
I do, yeah.
Okay, so I want y'all to, in the comments, if you want your chance to win this book, I want you to name candy. And when Rebecca sees the candy that she's got in her brain, that's who's going to get the book.
Oh.
I think supposed to say authors in
Yeah.
here. Ooh, Skittles. I like Skittles. I like those. April said I own that. Okay,
She does all that.
Ooh, Reese's.
Oh, Skittles is close to what I was thinking of.
What were you thinking?
Starburst.
Starburst and Skittles, they're kind of the same thing. We'll give it to Miss Elizabeth. Okay, so this next one, let's see. Hang on. I got this. I got a question. Let me go back. See, this is why I write notes. If I wasn't an author, I'd be running to her thing.
So funny. I love
You
it.
can still do that. It's
Very
okay.
sweet, April.
Let me see. Those were all recent. I wrote it. I started on purpose, and now I can't find it. Okay. Let's see. What's a good one for this one? Because it's different. It's fantasy. We got to be completely different. What? I did candy. We could do colors.
Oh, okay.
Think of a
I have
color.
a very random favorite color.
You have a random favorite color. Okay, let's see. What is Rebecca's favorite color, y'all?
I mean, it's like I think it's random. It's not one of the. Maybe it is one of the primary colors. I don't know. Is it? I don't remember if it is or not.
Red. We didn't ask this. I'm gonna have to start doing that. That's what I'm gonna do. I didn't. What colors? What's a random color? See, in my brain,
I think it's kind of random. I mean, it's not like it's not one of the like it's not like red, blue, or green. Orange.
See, orange.
That's my
You
favorite
like
color.
orange, and you're a Tar Heel fan? I don't know how I feel
Yes.
about that.
Well, I obviously love Carolina blue, but I love orange because my birthday is in the fall. My birthday's in October, and I always loved
Okay.
the burnt orange that the leaves turned, and when I grew up in the mountains in North Carolina. So that became my favorite color because I thought they were so pretty.
Yeah, because y'all have the Blue Ridge Parkway. That's what I'm trying to spit out. That's not working.
Yeah. The leaves
I
are
wrote,
so beautiful there. Yeah.
I just wrote that down all kinds of wrong. That's not what okay. So yeah, I put Ayla. Elizabeth, and then we'll put Rebecca. I don't know why I put your name instead of the book. It didn't make sense to me. All right. I want you to show us that book one more time that is coming out
Yes.
later this month that I've got starred up here because I'm going to go find it right here.
So it's called Repressed Echoes. And again, it's like I'm saying, it's a mashup between 50 First Dates and The Last of Us, which I love both of those things. So she has amnesia. So you're thrust into the book in chapter 1 in her point of view, and you don't know, you're with her. She wakes up and she doesn't know where she is. So that was so fun to write. I always wanted to write a heroine who had amnesia. So I've finally done it. And then he's a sexy Silver Fox hero and is post-apocalyptic. So because she has amnesia, it's like 50 First Dates. But because it's post-apocalyptic, it's like The Last of Us. So it's a mashup of both of those. So
I'm excited. I cannot wait to read it. Yes. Jeanette, she was just saying a second ago that she's only doing a few events, and one of them is in North Carolina.
Yep.
We
in Raleigh.
We could be author signing event friends. She's going with me later this year to another one.
Nice. Which one?
She's going with me to Bray, Beyond the Author Read Event in May.
Yes. Nice.
So, I'm just saying. She said it's like in Raleigh. Raleigh's not that far. Not that far. I could go to Raleigh in a day. I'm just saying we could be road trip friends. We should make that happen.
Do it.
I'm here for it. All right. And then I like to end these all the same way. If people want to find you off this app, obviously y'all need to make sure that you click right here and you follow Rebecca. But if they want to find you off this app, where can they go look for you?
I'm everywhere. Like I'm on Facebook. You see me around on Instagram. It's Rebecca Hefner. And then I do have accounts for Isla Asher also on all the places. But Rebecca Hefner is where I do the most of my stuff. And then RebeccaHefner.com has all of my books listed. You can see my reading order and all that stuff. And then RebeccaHefnerBooks.com is my online store. So you can go there if you want to shop directly.
Yes. Now, do you have one of the links, link trees or whatever? I know there's different kinds of them. Is there one of those in your profile?
Yes.
Those are my go-tos because I can't remember. I need to run
just go to my profile, and I always put whatever books I have on sale and on pre-order always in my profile link. So
look, I don't have to go look there because I told you pop up. I see your face on my FYP 2 to 3 times a day.
Good, man.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I love it. Some people like their AMSR, them letters. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The AMSR. What is that?
Oh.
Okay. So some people like yes, the noises and all the things. Like mine is watching y'all wrap books. I don't know why that makes me happy, but I love it. I love when you do like the packing up order videos. I will watch the whole thing and probably watch it twice.
Listen, people love that stuff, and I enjoy wrapping the orders, so it's so great. I literally video every single order that I wrap. And so sometimes it takes me a while to it depends on like what my schedule is like, but I try to post at least 2 order wrapping videos a day. I posted 2 today. And I'm with you. I leave in all the crinkling. I leave those sounds in because I feel like people like it.
I do. I'm that people. I do.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Like seriously, I will watch that before I watch somebody sit there and go.
Right. Yeah. Because they're wrapping books.
Right. Those ASMR gives me the heebie-jeebies. It's so sad. It is.
Like some of them are weird where like they're on the microphone and I'm like, oh my God, like my OCD is I'm like, there's like, did you clean that first? Like you're on the micro. I don't know. It's a lot.
There's one that puts like a plastic saran wrap type stuff over her microphone, and then she takes glue sticks and she goes like all over the microphone. And I'm like, she's got thousands of views. People are watching. Like, and I'm here for it if that's what you like. But It's not for me, but you show me Rebecca wrapping books and I'm happy. I'm like, we're wrapping books.
Oh my God, I'm so happy that people like those. And they're, for me, it's actually kind of nice because they're pretty easy to edit. So like
Hmm.
I this is the table that I sit at when I rap, and I video every single one, and then I just go back into my saved videos and I edit them on TikTok, and like it's nice because it's a pretty quick video to edit too. Because like I'm like, I'm no spring chicken here. I'm not great with technology, so like, yeah, I'm happy you like it because they're easy for me to put out, and like I'm happy they bring you joy.
They do. They make me so happy. I love it. Because I don't, apparently I'm not the only one because DM said wrapping books all day long. And you said we're going to re-mention it for those that didn't hear it before. She's going to be at what is the one?
Oh,
What's the event?
Tempted and Tantalizing in
Tempting and Tantalizing.
Raleigh, North Carolina on, I think it's March 9th, I think.
That's Pop Pop's birthday.
Oh.
It's my mom's birthday. My kids call her Pop Pop. Um, yeah. So if you're in the Raleigh area and around March, you should totally go over there and see her because it's going to be a good event. I think I was looking at that list like 2 months ago because I was looking to see what events were coming up. And it looks like a lot of fun. They got some good authors right here.
Thanks for the rose, April.
All right, Miss
Oh yeah.
Rebecca, you have been a gem. I am so glad that we finally got around to doing this because we've been talking about it since
Oh my
September.
God. I feel like we've been talking about it forever, and I was like, I need to just send you some dates or something. Like, why have we not done this yet?
Look, I'm going to tell you, October through December was like super busy. I don't even know if I remembered my name, okay? But
Right?
it's all good. Make sure that y'all go check out both of her names. Go check out Ayla Asher. Go check out Rebecca Hefner. I cannot tell y'all how much I love these books and I've enjoyed them. And I know that you're going to too. So go check them out. Again, Rebecca, thank you. Come back and
Thank you
talk to me
so much for
anytime.
having me. You're amazing. Thank you for doing this for authors. That's really so nice. I mean, it's just so awesome that you like spend your time helping us, get the word out. So thank you.
Look, I'm just here to have fun, and this is fun. Like, I love this. I love it when Elizabeth messages me and she's like, I've just added more books, or I just read this book and it was fantastic. I'm like, I know, I told you so.
You're like, I tried to tell
What I'm
you.
here
And it's, yeah,
for.
thanks to everyone who came in the comments. Like, you guys are amazing. So,
Thank you,
yeah, this has
Elizabeth.
been fun.
Well, definitely come back and talk to us anytime. I would love to have you. And everybody else, thank y'all for coming and hanging out with us. I hope you guys all have a wonderful night. We will see you next time. Good night, everybody.
Have a good night.